Thank you for joining us at today's webinar entitled Welcoming Afghan Refugees, Legal and Practical Issues, hosted by the Washington State Bar Association's World Peace Through Law section. I am your host, Randall Wynn, chair of the World Peace Through Law section. Our organization hosts educational programs on law, peace, and human rights. Joining the discussion today is Sarah Peterson of the State of Washington Department of Social and Health Services, Jorge Barron of the Northwest Immigrants' Rights Project, Anila Afzali from the Muslim Association of Puget Sound, and coming in from New York, Stephen Pollett of the International Refugee Assistance Program. Before we start, let me invite you to put your questions into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Please question freely. And take a moment to sit back and picture yourself living in the country in which you were born, as many of us do, working for an international organization, as some of us have done. In this case, perhaps the United States Army as a translator or some other civilian contractor. It's a job. With your pay, you can feed your family, your spouse, 3 children. Your country is at war, but you are getting by, even though other members of your family and other parts of the country have been threatened, and even a brother was shot dead. Suddenly, your government falls. The foreigners are leaving. You know you must go also, or you will suffer your brother's fate. You and your family get on that cargo plane and fly away, eventually resettling in the United States. Strangers find you a room to stay in with your family. Strangers bring you some food, clothing, other necessities when they can be found. You're not allowed to work because your paperwork is not complete. You're told that can take a long time. Even if you had some money, some income, where do you buy food? Where do you get other necessities? Where do your children go to school? What are the rules here? How can you care for your family? You recognize this story, no doubt, as a story of thousands of Afghan refugee families who have fled their country for safety and are settling coast to coast in whatever state we're in. Here in Washington State, a couple thousand families. The question before us today is, how shall we welcome them? How do we, both as lawyers and as members of our community, help our newest neighbors with their legal and practical issues? Helping us find an answer today, our panel includes Sarah Peterson, the Washington State Refugee Coordinator and Chief of Office of Refugee and Immigrant Assistance for the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services. After serving in the Peace Corps for 22 years, Sarah earned her Master's of Social Work at the University of Pennsylvania in 2003. She worked with HIS Pennsylvania as a Asylee Outreach Project Coordinator until 2005 and Director of Development and Refugee Programs until 2012. After serving as Development Director for Congreso de Latinos Unidos, she came to our state in 2014 to lead in her present position. With her today in a virtual sense is Jorge Barron, Executive Director of the Northwest Immigrants' Rights Project. After graduating from Yale Law School in 2003, he served at New Haven Legal Assistance in Connecticut for 2 years before joining the Northwest Immigrants' Rights Project in 2008 as a staff attorney. He has been its executive since 2010. With them are Anila Afzali, Executive Director of American Muslim Empowerment Network, a program of the Muslim Association of Puget Sound. A 2003 graduate of Harvard Law School, Anila had a successful corporate lawyer career. making partner, and then general counsel at a major firm, before leaving it in 2013 to serve as a community activist and interfaith leader, founding the organization that she directs today. Rounding out our panel is Stephen Paulette, Legal Director of the International Refugee Assistance Project, where he has served since graduating in 2011 from Yale Law School. Welcome, all of you. Thank you for coming here today. Our first speaker is Sarah Peterson. Sarah, educate us. What do we need to know to welcome our newest neighbors?